Oh, hello. And just like that, we're back. You get nothing for like a week, and now you get back-to-back NHL videos. Today, we're going to be looking at some of my favorite Game 1 NHL sniffs. But first, I would like to clarify something. Many times when I have to put in bets, I've always advocated doing it through multiple sports books simply because sometimes different books give different odds, and you'll hear about that once again today. But when it comes to betting futures, many times you can get limited. So when it came to the McDavid bet, I had to put it on different sports books to get in the full amount. And then I made screenshots of clean amounts just to show you for that guaranteed Stanley Cup final arbitrage bet. But what I did was I made a mistake with the McDavid side. It wasn't supposed to be 5,000, it was supposed to be 7,000. 7,000 at plus 250 pays out 17,500, and then 12,500 on the Panthers gives you 10,000 in wins. So you're winning either 3,000 if the Panthers win, or 5,000 if the Oilers win. And then obviously you can bring either of those numbers up or down a little bit depending on what you think is going to happen. And then an added wrinkle to that I didn't mention is on the McDavid side. Now it's a little bit too late because it's obviously been bet down to 200 before the series started, which lets me think I'm not the only one who thought of this, because that's the only price to go that far down, despite the Panthers becoming slightly more of a favorite along the way. So think about that. Panthers have become slightly more of a favorite, yet McDavid's gone down 50 points in the Conn Smythe race. So you can do a game-by-game basis. My advice would be, if you think that Florida is going to win this series, just wait until Edmonton's either down 1-0 if they lose game 1, or down 2-1 after 3. Because if they're trailing at any point in the series, the Conn Smythe odds repeatedly get updated, and then you can get that McDavid at a good price once again. But just to state, to clarify, 7,000 on the Oilers gets you 17,500, and 12.5 on the Panthers, I guess, would have got you 10,000 at the original prices. You're winning $3,000 to $5,000 guaranteed. That's a Shark Tank investment that even Mr. Wonderful will have to accept. Now, onto these Game 1 sniffs. I believe this series is going to feature some more goals. You know, the whole styles make fights? I think Dallas was kind of dragging everyone down to lower scoring games, and then the Panthers, think who they've been playing. The Rangers, the Bruins. And then before that, it was the Lightning, and you obviously saw the Panthers scoring goals. I think goals are actually going to be more frequent. How about that? Me telling you that a playoff series all the way down the road in the Stanley Cup final will feature some goals. I think it's because of the teams involved. The whole styles make fights. We know the Panthers can score. They always focus on defense, absolutely, but they're pretty lethal with their set of players. And then with the Oilers' power play coming into this series almost as a guarantee, I think we're going to see some goals in this one, which is why I'm going to start you with a Game 1 over 5.5. I like it in Game 1 for a couple of reasons. Early in a series, refs don't mind calling penalties. You might get 3 power plays both ways. I would not be shocked if you see 3 power plays for each team in this game, because you can't decide the series in Game 1. And I'll tell you what, if the Oilers are getting 3 power plays, one of them's going in, which should probably tease one of my Oilers bets. Should I just get to that one right away, even though that's not my favorite? So over 5.5 for the game, I'll absolutely take. And then give me the over half. Oh my God, this is so weird because I hate saying this. Over half of a power play point for Evan Bouchard. I refuse to believe if the Oilers get 3 power plays that they're not going to score one of them. And if they're scoring one of them, who's the guy at the best price that's working the outside? You know I'm not going with Nugent Hopkins. I think he's the least talented of the 5. Even though he's going to give you the best price, he'll fetch you the best price. But to me, it's either McDavid, Draisaitl, or Bouchard. I'm going to go with Bouchard to register a power play point. Later in the series, you wouldn't see me take this. I ain't taking a game 5, 6, 7. Game 1 through 3, maybe even 4, I don't mind. Until I see that power play slow down, usually there's a period where you see, okay, I'll lay off of those because that power play isn't really clicking. The way they were operating these last 2 games, you got to think a goal's going in for them on the power play, assuming they get 2 to 3 opportunities. So I'll take the over half of a power play point for Evan Bouchard. And then on the Panthers side, look at the totals for the goalies. Look at the save totals. If you were looking back last round, Ottinger's were at 27, 28, and then Skinner's were like 22, 23. You almost kind of get the sportsbook gauge of who's carrying the play based on where they set those shot totals. And we have a flipped script in this series. You're seeing Skinner up there in the high 20s and then the lower 20s for Bobrovsky, which makes me think, and I think correctly, Florida's going to be able to get pucks to the net. I mean, we've seen in these previous couple series, we always see they're a team, they're a pretty high volume team. They're high quality and high quantity. But I like the over 3.5 shots on Carter Verhaeghe. This is a guy who had 20 shot attempts in a single game against Shesterkin. He's way less selective than someone like Reinhart, who really seems to pick his spots. He won't just kind of wing anything towards the net. He needs a decent look. But Carter Verhaeghe, he's willing to rip them. He's willing to rip wrist shots from the top of the circle like it's no problem. So if you're giving me over 3.5 shots on goal for like plus 130, I think that's a fantastic price. Then there are a few lesser quality prices, but we still have to mention them. And I broke down some of the line combinations for the Florida Panthers. I talked about how that third line was increasingly effective. Don't discount what Evan Rodriguez has done on that second line. He's been great. And even in that last game, he was the one who set up Bennett for that first goal. So he's finding himself on the score sheet. He went over his 1.5 shots. Of course, in Chucky fashion, the one game I let you guys know about that, he stayed under 1.5 shots, but then right after that went back to his over 1.5 shots. When you're playing with Bennett, playing with Tkachuk, the opportunities are going to be there to get a couple looks. And I think that they should be there once again for Evan Rodriguez. So I'll take the over 1.5 shots for him. Gustav, I mean, now they've moved him to 2.5. He's on an 11-game over streak. 2.5 is just a scary proposition. If you're someone who likes to ride the streak until it's gone, he did clear 2.5 once they set it at 2.5 last game. You can still catch him at over 1.5 on BetRivers Bally Bet over there. And while I'm over there showing you some bad prices, we had the Kakko, the under 2.5. We had the Trouba under 1.5. There's a certain contingent of bets that are only available on BetRivers Bally Bet, but now I don't have another series. I don't have the under on Pavelski. I don't have the under on Kakko. So you're going to need to find some other stuff. Maybe whether you want to combine it with some of Josh's baseball picks, because I'm absolutely going back to the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins under 2.5 shots on goal. The guy just doesn't shoot enough for my taste. And I believe ever since I was giving that out, he cleared it once by a hair in a game where he scored 2 goals. But other than that, I think he ended with 0 shots in that last game. Most people went under in that last game. But you have a team like the Panthers, who are great at shot suppression. You have the least likely to shoot on the power play and top line in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a pass-first, pass-second guy. If you can take that under 2.5, I'm not suggesting you take it on its own at minus 200. But if there's anything else you like from anywhere across the sports betting spectrum, that's something that I would combine it with without really worrying about it. Same thing with under 1.5 shots on goal for Adam Henrique. So the 3 that I like over only on that side, the over 1.5 shots on goal for Forsling, the under 1.5 shots on goal for Adam Henrique, and then the under 2.5 shots on goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But like I said, you need something else to come. I don't know. The Boston Celtics, like minus whatever to win game 2. I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about basketball, but you can bet your ass I'm betting on Luka Doncic. Well, not betting on it. I'm rooting for Luka Doncic to win. Balkan brother of mine, and I absolutely, the same way I was for Jokic last year, I'm going for Doncic. If there's an itch, just know I'm rooting for him. How about this parlay? Combined shots on goal. I saw this at Bet365 for Tkachuk and Verhaeghe. The main reason I like a bet like this is because they're not on the same line. When they were playing on the same line, asking both of them for 4 or 5 shots on goal, that's a stretch. But I obviously like the over for Verhaeghe. I actually like the over for Tkachuk as well, but I'm not just going to be giving out over 3.5 left and right. The combined over on shot total for Verhaeghe and Tkachuk, 2 separate lines. They can both rack them up while they're both on the ice without cutting into each other's production. So I like that one. And then as far as you want a high price, same game parlay, I want to go back to that second line of Florida. Whether you want to go with the Rodriguez assist, plus 300 with the Bennett point, they share same line, same power play combination. They connected a couple times in that last series. The prices that you're getting on the second line of the Panthers with those 2 players, this isn't Shesterkin anymore. I really think they're going to be able to find themselves on the score sheet considerably more. I think Florida has about 2 beatings in them this series. Even if they somehow lose the series, I still think they have 2 beatings in them. So guys like Rodriguez should be able to find themselves on the score sheet. So how about this? It's kind of 2 versions of the same bet. Assist for Rodriguez with a point for Sam Bennett. And then a second one, an assist for Bennett, point for Rodriguez, and the over 1.5 shots on goal for Rodriguez. That's like plus 900. A parlay to end your game 1 sniffs. That is what I have for you here. Good luck to you. Sincerely. Better luck to me. More sincerely. I'm giving you Professor X vibes right now. Click like, click comment, click subscribe, click call your dad, click all sorts of things. Click subscribe on the Patreon if you want to be a part-time minority owner of this show. Very much appreciated. Hopefully, I will see you guys over there. If not, where am I going to see you? Here on Monday to talk Game 2 and for some more I Hate Baseball. I'll see you guys then. Take it easy.